Welcome to Behind the Badge with your hosts,
Lieutenant Ryan Williams,
and Officer Cammie Vandermolen.
your source for all things Spondy Police.
It's Friday, and that means Behind the Badge. A weekly visit with the Fond du Lac Police Department. And Lieutenant Ryan Williams in studio. Got a guest here we'll get to in just a bit, but you and I need to talk some baseball.
We have some catching up to do.
We do.
Never mind what's going on right now currently,
Yes.
but there was a series of great importance that happened. Brewers Cubs. Unfortunately, you came on the low side of that.
It's all right.
For you.
The better team won. The better team won. They truly did.
I think it did, but
And I saw you there.
yes, we actually crossed paths.
We both were at game 2
Yes.
last week, Monday. And I felt a little bad. I joked about this after the fact, even on the radio and with my friends. So I knew you were going to be sitting. This was just not planned at all. We got there kind of late, and we did park in a parking lot. I know you took a shuttle, which was the smart thing to do. Man, we parked way out there, and then we came in through the we came in on like a third base entrance, and I knew you were down. I knew you were down far on the third base side. Didn't think I'd see you at all, but I'm a very aware person. I'm just constantly scanning. So I'm walking one line one way toward home plate. There's another line walking. Who in the heck do I see? Lieutenant Ryan Williams.
What are the chances?
And then, my apologies, because, you are a police officer on duty and off duty. And I gave you a little bit of a shove, and I thought about that afterwards. You probably shouldn't shove a police officer.
There were so many people there, I didn't even notice.
But you reacted fine. You just kind of turned around and you saw me and a big smile. And I was like, what were the odds of that?
Oh, yeah. And actually, we were talking about it off the air, and I was, because of, we won that game and then lost the next two, I'm like, hey, we got to go back to that Monday vibe. So I made sure, and it wasn't at the Brewer game, but I wore all the same clothes that I wore that game. And I believe, that's probably why the Brewers won that last game.
They needed that mojo.
But I wanted to interview you on something because when I was at that game, I was with two other Cubs fans. I was with two Cubs fans, we had two Brewers fans, even match. Obviously, they were sadder than we were by the end of the day. They are so over the top offended by the L flag gesture. And I wanted to get your feelings on that.
It doesn't bother me.
It doesn't? Okay. No. They are, beyond words, overly offended. And I'm like, it's just a rivalry. I said, you guys are going to use that against us, and it's going to go back and forth. And obviously I'm not as impacted because I ended up on the one side of it. But I'm like, it's like the Bengals doing the Lambeau leap, like when they score a touchdown. You use your rivals like norms and stuff like that, kind of against them a little bit, and they're all like, you should be focusing more on your win than the other person's loss. I feel a little bit about that, but I also just don't think it was a big deal. It was like 2 seconds of like, they took like 50 photos, and it was like, a couple of the photos of the 50. So, all right, well, that's good.
Yeah, when you celebrate a victory, as the Cubs do, by flying the W flag, you open yourself up to the other side of that. When you don't win a game, you're going to have the L. Or same thing, right? The Packers, you got this thing called the Lambeau leap. When somebody comes in your house, or even if you're playing on the road, they want to mock it a little bit. That's just all part of the game.
Now, if we had done something like towards like Ryan Sandberg or something like that, that would have been over the line.
Right. Something
like, or if you guys would have done something at Euchre, like same thing, over the line. But yeah, that's still on the friendly thing to me.
I used to have a W flag, and that was when they had the World Series run, and I would it's a lot of work.
Yes.
To have to put that thing out after every single game, and then you got to take it down before the next game. Not very well received by my neighbors. The guy who used to live next to me kind of looks like you a little bit. Good looking guy. Yeah, good looking guy. He had threatened to send his dog over there and have a little doo-doo underneath it. Never happened, but ultimately that thing got a little tattered. Plus, as I said, it's a lot of work. And
good.
Then the Cubs weren't good for a while either, so there wasn't really a need for it.
Well, I respect that, and I have to respect them too because they're good people. They just they're very offended by it, and I can't get my head around it. I just feel like it's all in good fun, and you do those type of things, you're opening yourself up, and your rivals are gonna do that.
I've had several parody songs of Go Cubs Go sent to me since they lost. You can probably only imagine what some of the lyrics are. Again, all in good fun.
I kind of wish the Brewers did have a song.
You should.
Like, I mean, we kind of have rolled the barrel, but it's like,
You need a song after the game when you win.
right, you know, Eagles have the Eagles fly thing or whatever. You know, I don't want it to be as dated as Go Cubs Go. Like,
I know, they're not on WGN anymore.
right, it's like
Even though I
the,
still tell the story of WGN, but
and back in the 82 time, there were Brewer songs, but that were similar in that style. But they're just,
Come See What's Brewing, I still play that one.
Yeah,
in the mornings.
yeah, yep.
It's catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy, but it never became a tradition, so I don't think you can make it now. Like, you'd have to come up with something else.
Something new.
So,
Something new.
speaking of traditions, but
And
not
new.
at all. And new traditions, starting a new tradition. We have, and a second time appearance on the show, Caeden Hockers, who's our brand new officer from the city of Fond du Lac. So, Caeden, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
Oh yeah, my name's Caeden Hockers. I'm from the Superior area. I just completed the Law Enforcement Academy at Fox Blade Tech, and I'm super excited to work the road here in Fond du Lac.
So we just attended his graduation last week, and you know, I was a little worried. I met your mom, and she's like, I was just hoping he's gonna go to Brown County. And I'm like, I said, but doesn't he look so much better in blue? And he does. He looks good in blue. And
I don't want to see him in that brown.
yeah, you know.
I mean, initially my mom, when I told her when I was first getting out of the Navy that I wanted to go into law enforcement, she was like, "Oh, you got to work for Brown County. You got to work for Brown County." Because my grandpa, he worked for Brown County before he passed away, and I was like, "Yeah, Brown County sounds really good." I was like, I kind of want to explore around a little bit more and see like what everything's about, and that's when Ryan came into the Fox Blade Tech with the quick trip video and Cami, and I was like, I think that this is the place I want to work. And
Tell them about your first ride along.
oh, my first ride along, yeah. My first ride along when I came in, they were doing the Battle Shift.
It was Price is
And
Right.
It was a Price is Right, and that was a fun briefing to be a part of, because I was like, this happen every time? I was like, I'll definitely apply here if this happens every time, which it was just for the Battle Shift, but still, that was a really fun experience. It was fun to be a part of.
So we might have talked about it on the last show, but for those who don't remember, we did a Price is Right theme battle shifts, and we have competitions between the shifts every month. And what we did is we had we started off with like uniform items up for bid, and then whoever get closest without going over, would go and they'd play a game. And we had classic, we had the golf game, we had the dice game, and we had Plinko. So
Wow.
Yeah, so we had three good Price is Right games, and then the shift that together won the most money won the battle shifts, and it was great. We had mostly Cami, but a little bit of myself, like modeling off the uniform things and stuff like that, and she was like made for that part. Like she embraced the model role, and it was a great time. It was a great one. We were talking about bringing it back, but it might be the following year instead of this year because we're getting jammed up with stuff already. So yeah, Caeden, back to you. I take it and I run with it.
It's all good. It's all good. So what are you looking forward to most, being an officer now?
I guess I'm really looking forward to just getting the experiences of working the road and just finding out all the different ins and outs of the city, and I guess what issues the city has, and also the good things about the city as well, with just interacting with different communities and great events. Like Walleye Weekend, that was a really fun thing to be a part of, even though I was in the police academy. It shows from my side, looked like the police department does a lot of work to make sure everybody stays safe and everything like that, but it was just really cool to see the presence there with the police department and EMS, and just they're enforcing the law, making sure everyone's safe, but also like having fun, laughing, talking with people, and just getting to know a community.
Any idea where you'd like to see your career go at some point?
Um,
Sheriff of Brown County, if your
No,
mom is their choice.
Yeah, I remember talking to my dad, and he was asking me like what I wanted to do with my policing career, and at least on a long-term goal would eventually be wanting to be like a lieutenant or even chief of police one day, but that's far down the road. You gotta set yourself up for success, initially, right, in the position I am right now. But really, I guess some specialty teams like SWAT or DRE, anything like that, I'm kind of open to, but I'm also open to doing anything that the department needs as well.
And how quickly can they be on those?
So we were actually just talking about this. Usually we like about 2 years on.
Makes sense.
You got to kind of learn how to be a cop before you can be like a super cop, right? Like before you start doing the extra stuff. So it used to be back in us old people's time, it used to be 3 years. But because we're such a young department, as most departments are now. We reduced it to 2 years. We haven't really seen like a drop in performance from doing that. So, yeah, 2 years on, and then what we do in the meantime, we don't just say, hey, you have this interest, see you in 2 years. We're like, okay, what can we do to kind of get you closer to goal? So, like for SWAT, you can definitely go to SWAT trainings, and they're always looking for role players or people to help participate, help run the scenarios and stuff like that. And for like the other one you talked about, like a DRE, which is a drug recognition expert. There's like schools you can go to before that, where you can like learn advanced detection tricks and tips and stuff like that we can send them to before he would become a DRE, which is a drug recognition expert. So yeah, we want to make sure it still remains your interest, but we're trying to get you closer to that point. Then when it comes up time to go for that, you kind of apply for it like a job, and you have something to bring to that interview. Like, oh, what have you done to prepare yourself to become a SWAT team member? Well, I helped the SWAT team on this and this and this and this, and so you have something to add to your resume.
How gratifying is it for you to hear Caeden talking about how those recruitment efforts that you and Cammie put so much time into are working?
It does. We definitely got a lot of play out of the Quick Trip video, and it was a good video. I never want to be a one-trick pony though. I've had like 2 other, I think, pretty good ideas in the hopper for a while, and we just haven't been able to get them going. We've kind of changed our recruiting a little bit, because we're not down 16 officers anymore. We're down like 1 or 2. But so I do have other ideas that I want to use that I think are creative. So just like I wouldn't be known as the Quick Trip guy all the time. But if that is my legacy, I do like it because I still think it's kind of funny. I watched the video again, and there are some good parts to it. So, and I think it does kind of sum up our department a little bit. Like as far as this isn't a place to come if you want to be miserable. Like we're gonna make efforts to hopefully make your career enjoyable. Like police work is hard enough as it is. We are going to give you the tactics to do that successfully. We don't joke around on everything, but we also don't have to be so serious all the time to make our lives miserable. So, yeah, so I think it is a good summary. Some people called it in our department, they said, oh, that's the perfect one. Maybe not the perfect one, but pretty darn good, and we got recognized nationally that year in the top 10 of recruiting ads, so appreciative of that. And obviously we got young Caeden here, so I don't know, not that young, but young enough.
Young enough. Well,
compared to me.
Congratulations on making it to the force, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you again.
Thank you.
It's Behind the Badge, KFIZ today.
Morning talk, city's hot, a new day. Let's all start. Behind the badge, we'll stand tall through the ups and the fall. From the light, hear the call. Behind the badge.